Jalen, Jahan Dotson, the numbers aren't there, the receiving numbers, but I just wanted to ask you kind of what you're seeing from him as far as going out there and playing his assignments and what you see from him.
Yeah, I think he's showing up, and I think he's being patient. You know, some things aren't always reflective of where he is, but he's working. He's taking it day by day. I think, like anything else, he's just waiting on his opportunity and waiting on his number to be called.
John, a lot of, at least on the surface, looks like the offense has changed significantly since the bye. You know, what involvement did you have in that, and what do you?
What looks different? What looks
Sorry?
different?
Well, you guys been under center a little more. You've been doing a little more play action. Been running the ball more. You know, this last game you did a lot, the most motion you've ever done. So, did you have any say in that? And you did mention pushing for certain things, and are we seeing the direct result of that now? Playing well.
Yeah, no, I think not directly. It's a constant navigation from everyone. It's a constant navigation from everyone, and you know, everyone has a voice in that. You know, and the number one goal, I've told you my goals, and it doesn't really matter how it looks. It doesn't matter how it gets done. It's a matter of playing efficient ball and going out there and winning. And so we've been able to do that, you know, over the course of the tenure here and in a number of different ways. And so, you know, navigating what it's supposed to look like for this team this year, you know, that's always a challenge. It's something that's going to be presented naturally. But, you know, you seem to find it at some point throughout the year with regardless who the coach is, regardless who's, you know, calling it in and who's out there. And so, you know, the most important thing is finding that at the right time, and we just want to continue to progress.
So from your perspective, Jalen, when you hear something like that, like the offense looks different, what is it different? Is that your perception, or is it just sort of learning what you just said about what we do best?
Yeah, I think everything is relative, you know. Everything is relative, truly. You got a lot of moving parts, you know, from year to year. You know, things have changed around here, and you can't expect it to be perfect at any point. I mean, it's everything is a work in progress, and I think we've done a really good job of communicating and having those conversations, trying to figure out what's the best way to go out there and play efficient football, and that changes throughout the course of a year. But you know, it's about the vision and the mission. I think the vision of saying this is who we are, and then going out there and being that, you know. And then I think, like I said, after the game, when you are capable of doing so many different things, you deal with that, you know, trying to do it all when you can root yourself in something and then be able to adjust when you need to adjust. And so I think that's the navigation for us. And I'll nut it all up and bring it back to, like, you know, I said, what's the vision? Like, what do we vision ourselves being? But more importantly, like, what's the mission? You know, what's the mission? The mission is to win. It's to win. It's to play team football, to play complementary football, be selfless, and everybody know that their role is equally important, because it is. You know, you never know when that time comes up. You asked me about Jahan the first question, and you know, I point to that Cleveland Browns game where he makes a critical, and I never seen Jahan drag his toe. It hadn't been something that he had, but he did it in the most crucial moment. And it's like, that's what you want, you know. And so everybody just has to be willing to be patient, put the team first out of yourself and into the team and the team's success, and understanding the mission that we're all on. You know, no man is just merely anything without the next.
The experience you had yesterday, how would you describe it?
What?
Playing golf or being at the golf course with President Obama.
Yeah, kind of like an uncle figure out there. President Obama, all-time leader, a great a great presence, and I guess the word is down to earth. You know, it's can only imagine. I can only imagine that. That lifestyle and the different things that come with that. But nonetheless, to see him out there enjoying himself and, you know, talking a little trash, that was cool. I told him he didn't want these problems just yet. I told him I can't golf right now. It's just by contract I can't golf. But his day will come.
In a,
You mentioned in training camp that Jeffrey told you weren't allowed to play golf. You said that was a story for another time. Is it because it's in your contract, or is now a good time to
It's still not the time to tell the story, but yes, yeah, that's a simple yes.
in a
Saquon
Time
said he
magazine
thinks you
interview
have
last
the
year, you said he was one of the 6 people he would want for as a dinner guest.
Yeah.
In that interaction, were there things you wanted to ask him about? Were there things you wanted to learn from him?
I like to keep it, you know, intimate as possible, but I think that's just a blessing, and my young time to be able to establish, you know, the handful of individuals I love to meet and kind of be complete after that, and you know, I've met some and we've lost some to Father Time, but there's only the only one left is Denzel Washington. So, you know, I got a lot of respect for those guys, and every time I've been able to speak with them and you know, be in their presence, it's always been fruitful conversation. Nothing aimless about it. Felt like I left their presence and a better person, a wiser person, and honestly, I hope to have the same impact on them too.
Is your confidence grown in Grant Calcaterra at all, and how much has he improved in your mind as a guy you can go to?
I mean, my confidence has always been there in Grant. As I said, he's always been that guy. We've always had a rapport. We've put a lot of work in over the years. You know, just all those things add up. The chemistry and having a feel for how he moves, how we connect. All those things add up over time, and I think he's just going to continue to show up. He's a special player, and I think we don't talk about enough the things that he's had to overcome. You know, I was at practice when I saw a terrible concussion, and you know it was over for him. And for him to be able to come back and play the game, and I always pray for his health and hope for the best when hope for the best in terms of his safety on the field. But this was a game that he was ready to walk away from, and he came back, and I'm fortunate to be able to have him here.
I bring this up obviously because you guys are facing the Jaguars and Doug Peterson and everything, and I was just wondering if there are things, you know, back from your rookie year together that, you know, you still kind of, you know, use or I guess helps you, I guess, this year, you know, from what you learned from him.
Yeah. Well, he was a bright mind. A bright mind. He you know, he was. He had a like when I came into the league, I realized that, you know, everybody had a different way of seeing the game, and his way of seeing the game was unique, yet he could always spit it to you and dumb it down. And so I think how he presents, you know, his scheme, his strategy, I think that's something that's really good, and you don't want to make it harder than what it is. I think that was his approach with it, and also. I had a big, you know, Marty and Deuce had a huge impact on me my rookie year, as well as Coach Stout, who's still here today. So those guys played a big role in that as well.
Between Doug and Nick, Jalen, between Doug and Nick, what have you learned is required in order to be successful in that post in this city? And is there any commonality between Doug and Nick from what you've seen?
I don't want to compare two different individuals. You know, I don't make anything more than what it is. I mean, I just had to approach it, keep the main thing the main thing. I mean, that's literally how I've always carried myself. It's never going to change. It's been that way for every place that I've been. And so I think the most important thing is everybody has to be themselves and they have to be at peace with those things. And they choose to align them however they choose to align them. But it comes down to what the mission is. You know, you don't want to put that behind.
I'm sorry I interrupted you there. You said the mission again, and then earlier when you talked about the mission and winning, it's hard to say that without mentioning how important the quarterback is to winning and doing what makes him most comfortable. Is that also what we're seeing and what we've seen maybe in 2021 when they figured it out halfway through the season, doing what makes you plays to your strengths and makes you most comfortable?
I don't think there's anything that I can't do. It's a matter of saturating myself in it and working at it. You have different voices telling you how to do it all the time. It's challenging naturally, but I can't say that I haven't figured it out at some point. That's a testament to the people around me, and that's a testament to the work that's put in. But, you know, we're talking about all the things that we're doing now. Was I under center in college? Was that something that I've done? But I mean, it seemed to be efficient. In 2021, we did it pretty well, and 2022 was a little bit of a different approach, but still efficient. And then 2023, last year, just had a lot of turnovers, but relatively good, production. And so it looks different, and we're a different team now, and I think that's what everyone really has to understand and accept, that we have a new team, we have another play caller that's different, and there's a new approach. We got new players, and I bring it down to the mission, right? The mission, but optimizing the talent. And that's different talent, and it can be optimized in different ways. But as you get rolling, you want to be able to be multiple, as I said after the game, and be versatile and be able to attack teams and impose your will in different ways.
Okay, last one, Zach.
If I can ask you your thoughts on a league-wide question, because 5 years in, you have some perspective now. You've seen young quarterbacks benched early in their careers, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson. What perspective do you have on the patience or lack thereof at that position right now?
I think things do take time. Things take time, and it's everybody has a different approach. Obviously, going in, I wasn't supposed to be the guy I am today. Nobody expected that, but I took advantage of my opportunity, and that's what I encourage everyone to do, regardless. You got a ton of respect for Tom Brady, and you hear him talk about it all the time, about taking advantage of the moment. And there's a different. Typically, there's a different leash there, the earlier you're picked. But nonetheless, nothing's guaranteed and nothing's promised. And so you just want to take advantage of every opportunity that comes. And, sometimes adversity builds the appropriate calluses for you to be able to forge your new paths and stand different storms that'll come your way.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, Jim.
We got one more question, John. They didn't ask me.
About the Jaguars defense? What are your thoughts on the Jaguars defense?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to they got great edge rushers. They got a great front seven. They got really good edge rushers. So that'll be a big challenge. They got two really good linebackers up front. I know they rotate a good bit, but 23 and 33, playing against those guys, they bring a speed and physicality element of physicality to the game, and in the back end, I think that'll be a huge challenge for us as well, because they're very sticky in coverage, very tight coverage. So we have to go out there and take advantage of try and win our one-on-ones, but hopefully it doesn't range this time around.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.